The premier event of this championship, the Masters. Terry Wenban, you might explain for us how we've got down to these last two bowlers.
Well, during the past 2 weeks, we've had a lot of entries at Mornington Bowl who've tried to qualify for the event to make the field of 32, and then they came out today to play a double elimination to see who was going to end up winning.
All right, in the women's, we've got Sue Cassell from New South Wales and Jenny Burton from the ACT. Would you like to name a winner?
I think Sue's been dominant here all week in the Rockway. She was the top scorer. She's the World Amateur Bowler of the Year, our best performer in the World Championships in Singapore. And plus, Jenny has to now come out because she's come from the losers bracket. She now has to beat Sue twice to win, and I don't really think she'll do that.
And in the men's, it's Rob Zickman and Peter Van Kempen.
Yes, well, again, Rob against Peter. Rob's a much more seasoned competitor. He also came back from Singapore in the World Championships. He's the winner of the winners. Peter has to do the same to beat him twice. 2-game matches under TV situation is, I think, a tall order to ask anybody.
We pick up play in the third frame of the women's final.
Jenny Burton's also an ex-Australian team member. So she's very experienced coming from the ACT. They don't have a lot of major tournaments down there, and she doesn't compete all that often. But when she does, she's a real champion. A great looking shot.
A hat-trick.
Yes. This is really starting up. As I said, if she gets away with some strikes, she can really string them. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on Sue to get something going, and she really has to get something going.
After 3 strikes in a row, Jenny Burton opened the fourth frame, and Sue Cassell made the most of it.
If Sue can get a strike here, she's got a strike working. Jenny's got to try and get up and make a good shot on the next one. She doesn't want to open another frame because Sue's lined up. So this is an important shot for Sue.
That's what champions are made of.
At the halfway mark of game 1, Jenny Burton held a 9-pin lead.
Great shot by Jenny. She liked that one. She thought it was a good shot all the way down.
Jenny Burton, the front runner in this first game, has bowled superbly. Just like that.
That's another shot, as you said, Cole. Jenny's bowling superbly this match. She's fired up. She's the winner of the losers bracket. She's had to go through all day knowing that if she loses one more match, she's right out of it. She's come good here, and she's come good at the end, made the goods, and she's really taking it up to Sue. So here, if Jenny gets another one, she can go 20 in front.
Oh, yes.
Well, that shot there, the 8-10 was the last to fall, and that would have been an open frame for sure because you can't pick that up.
At the end of game 1, Jenny Burton held a 19-pin lead.
Nice way to start the second game for Sue Cassell.
Well, that's what we've been looking for. She got the ball well out on the lane. Great shot into the pocket. More speed, got right through the ball. It's a much better shot, a lot less tentative. She knows that now she can put the game away, and I think she might want to take it to Jenny.
Well, Jenny bowled so well from in front, can we say, in the first game. Oh, yes! And she's had a couple of lucky strikes just like that. And that has to just have a little effect on Sue, doesn't it, to sit and watch that?
Well, in actual fact, she'd have been a little unlucky to have it stand up, to hit the pocket and leave a 7-10's not really a bit of a break.
After 6 frames in game 2, Sue Cassell had opened up a handy break, but Jenny Burton had a strike working for her.
You know, Cole, to the average bowler that bowls competition every week, spares are the game. It's only the better players and the guys that throw the real big turning ball that throw a real lot of strikes, but then they can't spare. But spares are the backbone of the game.
Ooh, and this won't be one.
Well, that's a very difficult spare to pick up or a split to pick up. She's got to slide the 4-pin over to hit the 10-pin. So she has to judge it to about 1/8 of an inch.
At this stage of the game worth going for?
I think so. She's got 8-1-4-2 up. She's really has to go for it or she drops behind. So I'd be going for it if I was in that situation, and she has to give it a go, but she also has to get 2 as well, because the 2 pins after a strike will blow out to 4 pins once it's added up. Yes!
Oh. What a shot from Jenny Burton.
Well, Cole, that really brought the crowd alive, and I'm sure that'll pump Jenny up. Sue, of course, on the other hand, has to sit there and watch that.
For the final frame in Game 2, Cassell leads by 16, but trails by 3 overall.
Oh, great shot there. This is where the champion in her comes out. She needed the shot. She had to get the shot. She's got it. She gets to finish the 10th frame out here, and she can really take the game now.
A 195 game for Sue Cassell, and the pressure on Jenny Burton to bowl a strike and send the Masters into a repercharge final.
So the ladies' final comes down to the last frame.
Yes, she's got it. Well, Cole, as you said, you wanted another match, and you've got one. What a great shot on the pressure there. That's what this game's all about, Cole, as when you have to come down to you get to the 10th frame, you know what you've got to do. You've got to go out and do it. Everything's riding on it.
A 2-game total of 378 gives Jenny Burton a 2-pin win. But as Jenny came through the loser's draw, the Masters will now be decided by another match.
So here we go again.
Another great start by Jenny, as she did in the first match. She's taking it to Sue, and, well, it gave her the buffer zone that she needed in the previous match. And I think Sue's got to make some changes to her game here if she wants to be competitive. I think, you know, Jenny now knows that there's no more chances for Sue Cassell left.
This is it. This is the sudden death one. Sue had one chance up her sleeve. That's now gone.
That was a great shot there by Sue, and the match has really opened up.
At the halfway mark, Sue Cassell leads by 9, and Jenny Burton needs this spare to stay in touch.
Well, she's done it again, Cole, as I said. These girls are just really taking it to each other.
Jenny's playing particularly well under pressure, but it's pressure that she's putting on herself.
Yes, very true. She's just causing herself a lot of problems, and she's getting out of it by some great shots. These conditions aren't easy here. They're difficult, and I really believe they're doing the best under the conditions they've got here. They are really sparing just so well. Well, Sue's got a lot of fans here, so getting a lot of encouragement there from every strike she gets.
That was the start of 5 strikes in a row for Sue Cassell, which saw her take an unbeatable lead.
Well, Cole, I think Sue's getting a bit lined up here.
Oh, yes!
Well, Cole, that's just the break she's been looking for. She's been solid, hasn't had the break. She's kicked the 4 into the 9 there. It's given her 3 in a row.
Well, we saw in the first match that Sue almost got up from 18 behind, but gee, any further than that, you'd think it was nearly a forlorn task.
Again, this is Sue. This is the champion coming out on her. She's played a much solid game this game. Again, she got the break on that shot. She went high on the head pin, carried the 7-10 out of the corners. Well, that gives her a 5-bagger. She's now got 237 going at this stage.
A marvellous spell of bowling by Sue Cassell. She finishes 233 and opens up a 63-pin lead over Jenny Burton going into the second game.
This will round out a big week for Sue. Member of the New South Wales Rockway team which won it. New South Wales also took out the overall prize, and she's going to cap it off a great week with the Masters and a strike to start the second game.
Well, she's 63 pins up. It's going to be a huge order for Jenny to get any back at all, I think, because I think Sue's found a shot, as we said, which she's bowled 3 games now and improved in every game. And Jenny's going the other way.
Oh.
I think a little bit of Lady Luck's deserted Jenny at the moment. That was a good shot. Left the cold 10. Sue with a strike in the start. She really looks very confident, and I think she's going to play a good game, good solid game.
Well, 6 out of her last 7 visits have resulted in a strike.
It's okay, she'll just go back, pick up a spare. Let's hope getting all those strikes doesn't ruin her sparing talent at the moment. Well, I think I put the mockers on her that time. She's opened the frame. It's not a disaster as yet, but she's still got 50 pins to play with. But
just when you think it's all over, there's just that crack in the doorway.
Exactly, and that's one of the things with this game. Anything can happen.
And that's what Jenny Burton needed.
That's given her a little bit of motivation. She can see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and she's going for it.
But any slim hopes Jenny Burton held of a comeback were quashed when Cassell made strikes in frames 3, 4 and 5.
Every strike Sue gets is a nail in the coffin, though, for Jenny Burton.
It certainly is, and with 6 frames left to go, it's quite nice pay packet per frame. And there's another strike.
Another nail.
Now it took her two and a half games to get lined up, and of course now that she's lined up, she's thrown, what, 9 strikes in 11 frames.
Cassell continued to play brilliantly, while luck simply deserted Burton. The final frame, the story of the match.
Oh, unfortunate. Jenny couldn't finish out the final with a spare, but here's Sue. The Australian Masters champion for 1991, and what a way to finish. Sue Cassell, 440, defeats Jenny Burton, 336. And her New South Wales teammates rush to congratulate Sue Cassell on the great win.